In live events, emergencies don't come with warnings. When the DJ cancels at the last minute, someone has to step in. These are their stories.
"911, what's your emergency?"
Yeah. Hi. We need help. Our DJ just canceled right now.
Okay. Stay calm. Take a breath. Tell me where you are.
It's a wedding guests are here. A ceremony starts in 20 minutes. There's no sound, no music. People are starting to notice.
All right, is anyone injured?
Caller, but this is about to be a disaster.
I understand. I'm classifying this as an event services emergency. Stay calm. Help is on the way.
DJ response, emergency DJ response, emergency DJ response, emergency DJ response.
We've got a live event DJ no-show. Ceremony start is imminent. Client stressed crowd on site.
Copy that.
They're gonna need backups, quick setup, and someone who can take control of the room. Understood. I'm en route. Because real DJs don't panic. They prepare. They adapt. They show up. This is Cue It Up.
Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But DJing is a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the Hitman D-Dub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the Hitman D-Dub, and my friend, DJ Mikey Mike.
Hello, everyone.
You got your Jets shirt on. So are they playing tonight?
I don't even know. I'm just a fan. That's always like this at the end of the season, you know.
Yeah, I think the Browns play Saturday.
I think
I
the
think
Jets
they play
play
Chicago Saturday.
I know the Jets are opening with Tampa Bay. I think it is Saturday.
Okay.
I know it's going to be a long season.
So our podcast is a podcast for DJs of all skill level to come connect, learn, and grow. From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. And I'd like to say what's up to at Big J DJ Services. He's already in the chat. So
Yes, I'm sending a hello to him. I'm far away from my PC, so I'm hopefully going to stretch out and get it.
Mm-hmm. So last week we had talked about the DJ Handoff. We're mostly focused on us as DJs. What kind of questions do we ask our clients? Are we asking the right kind of questions, or are we asking a boatload of questions that may not even be significant for the event? So last week, the key takeaways were, let me get to it. 1, thorough consultations are the key to personalized and unforgettable events. 2, asking the right questions build trust and clarifies expectations. And 3, this detailed approach ensures seamless execution and client satisfaction. I see Kevin's in the chat.
Hey, Kev, what's happening, sir?
Yep, he's in that shacked out that we were in last year. It's almost like being in the attic.
Oh God. Well, yeah, when we were talking about that show last week, and I'm sitting here because I know like a lot of my clients will call me on the phone. I prefer a text message, because this way I have it in more or less black and white. But then you have a lot of clients that want to talk to you. They don't want to do a Zoom call. They don't want to do this. They can't meet because of their work schedule. Usually like the week before the wedding, that's when I'll have my sit-down meeting with them. I have to meet with them in person. There's no ifs, ands, buts about take the day off of work. But most couples are off that whole week anyhow. But I picked up, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. It's called the Pocket.
Yeah, have mine. I forget mine's begin with a C.
Yeah,
I
love this little thing. I mean, right in the back of your phone, when you hit record, and sometimes a client will tell you they said this or they said that, and you didn't write it down the right way. But now you have this and say, here, this is our whole conversation. This is exactly what you said. So it's just guarding ourselves, our interest. If by chance they leave a bad review, here's their conversation with us. Boom, boom, boom. And then makes them think, you don't want to put your client out there like that. But sometimes you get a client that you have no choice to do that to. It's just, but for our well-being and our peace of mind, because you're taking notes while you're talking to them. This way you can go back through that and say, hey, wait a second, I missed this in my notes. I missed this. So you take it over, you just rewrite it down. And I think that's going to help me a lot with my clients, especially my age, 61, But I just picked it up this week, and I'm going to do a little video on the unboxing of it. Actually, I did, but I didn't run it through my system here yet. So that'll be coming up in probably the next week or next day or two. But it got me thinking, and I seen you had yours on your phone. I'm like, geez, I'm looking. I'm like, there's all these different brands out there. I'm like, oh my God, which one do you pick? And then I see all these commercials about the Pocket. I'm like, all right, I'll pick that one up. It wasn't the cheapest, but it wasn't. Some of them are outrageously priced. It's like, wow. Do you use yours a lot?
Yeah,
Oh, you're
every day, almost every time I talk to a client,
Beautiful.
I do it.
Beautiful.
And I think, do you have to have a subscription to yours?
No, you don't have to have a subscription, but it's limited at what it will do for you.
Hmm.
But then if you get the subscription, it'll put bullet points, it'll outline stuff for you. It'll just go do the whole 9 yards. And I think the subscription is $19.99 a month or $9.99 a month. I'm not sure. I have to look into it because I haven't downloaded the app yet on my phone. So first I got is unboxing and charging it up.
Okay. Yeah, mine's is called the Comulytic, Comulytic. I think the Pocket might be more than mine. Because
This is $149.
I'm thinking mine's might been a little less, or it might have been one of those things on Amazon. I could get it right away, either next day or overnight. Whereas the Pocket, I might have to wait a little extra because I was in between getting that one, because on YouTube you see a whole bunch of ads for that one, as opposed to this one. Or I'm thinking that this one, it did more without having a subscription to it.
Yeah. I know. I think yours and the Pocket, they do more. There's one other one. It begins with a P also, but that one you have to have a subscription. It will take the notes and everything for you, but it'll just be like one big paragraph. You know, you could pull it up, but it'll just it's you don't know who's talking. It's just one paragraph. And I wanted to know, I think this will say speaker 1, speaker 2. Well, you start up the conversation with the client on the phone and say, hey, before you even call them, I'm DJ Mikey Mike. It's this date, this time, making a phone call to so-and-so. They're going to be speaker number 2. I'll be speaker number 1, whatever. And then, when you finally do get in there, you can edit it. You can put person's name, you put your name. So this way, you know exactly who's speaking, what and where,
Yeah, mine's is you can, you set up your voice recognition. So therefore, it automatically registers your voice. So when you have the multiple people, it knows which one is me, and then speaker 1, and then all the other generic stuff.
I think, I know you got stuck in that predicament not last week and the weekend before, and I felt so bad for you. I'm like, geez, I had that one, which was a hurry up DJ. Now we don't care what you play. We just want our intro songs. We want this. So they were very lenient with me. You, on the other hand, had this whole big 24 pages of God only knows that make your head spin around, So as you see with my wedding planner, it's very, very plain. It's just straightforward. That's all we really need. You get into the nuts and bolts of it. Yeah, that's like your first meeting, second meeting. But when you sit down to do just your planner for that day, what I sent you, that's all you really need. It's not, you don't need all that other stuff, because that's just all stuff you're gonna make a playlist for this, or make it, you do Jeff and Cindy's wedding and just, make a subfolder for this dance or this dance or this dance, whatever. Okay, you have that there. But for just the wedding planner, for you stepping on board last minute, if I got that, I would be like, I'd be on the phone, like, what is this? Like, help me out, get me through so I could call the client and I know where I'm going with this,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. But then I think I said last week, I've been on so many shows or did so many like Instagram reels, and I forget who I said what to on what day. But again, with the phone call, I recorded it. I also, when I did the site visit, I had this running and recording it. And then I had my 360 also filming. And then while we're talking, it's picking up information. And so between that one and then taking that big, long document that he gave me, I just dumped it all in Chat GPT and told it to make sense of all the information it got. So it started to narrow things down. And then I had to transfer all that information into a language that I understand it.
Yes.
And so I'm going to show you all that later on and show you the actual timeline.
Now, with ChatGPT, can you upload, like say you have your own wedding planner, like I have my own. Can I upload that to be just like my wedding planner? And if somebody emails me something, I'll say, all right, ChatGPT, put this in order in my wedding planner. I don't know. Does it have the capability of doing that yet or no?
Yeah, it can, but it a lot has to do with what kind of prompts you feed it. And
Okay.
I know I use Lovable because Lovable is like an AI website generator. And I also use Poppy AI. Those
Okay.
two are good for, I should say, more so consistent with what you're saying, because then you can upload your form, then you can upload the new information and tell AI to put it in a I guess you could say in form or final form the way that you want it in that new form, automatically put it in
Okay.
there.
That would be great. I
Yeah,
mean,
Lovable, you can program it to be able to read information on your website and put your stuff in there. So let me pull this up because I kind of like do that with my sales call, where it takes all my information, put it together, and it gives me a nice little form, letter, and all that stuff, so I can quickly send it out to the client.
yes.
Show you it. Let me close this real quick. But yeah, I created this one that came in handy. I don't ask all those questions like I used to.
No, my first wedding planner was, I mean, it wasn't as long as that one. That was 24 pages long. It might have been like 14 pages. And then I'm like, well, do I really need this? Do I really need it? Because this is in the contract. I don't need it in my planner. Do I need this? And then I went back to my contract and I'm like, wait, this is in the wedding planner or party planner. So I don't need that in my contract. It's just like I had to swap stuff in and out. But there are things I'm going to add to my contract. Just, like different little things that listen to other DJs on YouTube and listen to guys on the show here and on Pretty Boy and Shay's show and TBM production. You hear all this stuff and it's like, wait a second, okay, I can fit that in my contract. That could help me out a lot, So the one thing I did put in my contract, and this is years ago, is about a tent because I was supposed to do a wedding and they were supposed to have me under the main tent and they didn't. They just went to Walmart and picked up one of those 8x10 tents that weren't waterproof. And it happened to rain, and next thing you know, water starting to come through. There I am with garbage bags all over my stuff. I'm like, this ain't no way to DJ. I'm like, I'm not gonna ruin my equipment. I told the clients, listen, we got through all the important stuff. We got through half your wedding. The weather's just gonna get worse. I'm shutting down. And they were fine with it because nobody could dance anyhow. It was a backyard wedding.
Okay.
It was like a river running through the yard. I felt so bad for them, but it taught me a good lesson. They supply me the right tent. If not, they're paying an extra $400 for the tent that I have to bring and put up.
Yep. But I was trying to also adjust my my web thing. But
Okay.
basically, this is because when I was trying to update the way I did my sales calls, I had to write my little scripts. So I don't really read it script by script. But the way that I have it is when I first get on the sales call, I have my little script that I read to them or say, the opening banter. But mainly, all the questions come in right here. And like, what are you most excited about your wedding? What do you want your reception to feel like? What are the top 3 things you want your guests to say about your wedding? what does fun mean to you, and anything you don't want to happen at your wedding, that kind of stuff. And then when I put in those answers, it compiles that automatically. So when I get to this next part, only thing I have to do is just repeat what they had said. I don't have to try to remember it, remember everything because it's right there. And this is the most important one for me is what kind of guests are you expecting at your event? And are they a dancing group or more of a laid back group? So therefore, when I get there and and if they say they are laid back and I start playing all the songs that normally work and it doesn't work, I'm not beating myself up.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That has happened to me in the past. The bride and groom, the bride's sister married the brother the year before. And the photographer asked me which way they're coming in. And so I told her, well, they're going to enter over here. And then she tells me there's 275 guests at this wedding. She goes, I just want to give you a heads up. These people do not dance at all. And it's right before intro. So I'm like, why did you tell me this now? And how do you know this? She goes, well, the groom is my nephew. His brother married the bride's sister last year. I'm like, and the same 275 people that were at that wedding are at this one. I'm like, oh boy. And I'll tell you, I tried basically everything. Then I threw on some 80s hair bands, Motley Crue, Cinderella, Ozzy, and it was like a magnet right to the dance floor. They were all out there. She came on, she said, what did you do? I'm like, I tried everything. I tried Cupid Shuffle, Cha-Cha Slide. I tried EDM. I tried oldies for the older people. It was like they were glued to their seats. But as soon as they heard the 80s hairband music, the older people sat there yet. But then they started drinking more. The younger people that were on the dance floor, now they're dancing, so they're drinking more. Now you have the elderly people having a few more cocktails. Throw a couple older, like some, like the Twist and stuff like that on. Got them out in the dance floor. She goes, oh my God. She goes, Mike, the DJ that did my nephew's wedding last year, within the first hour, he was ready to pack up and go home because he couldn't get nobody to dance. I said, well, that's the difference between a seasoned DJ and a non-seasoned DJ. You keep trying until you hit something, and you don't play the whole song out. If it ain't cracking within the first 35 seconds, 40 seconds, bounce out to a new song, bounce out to a different genre until you see the spark in the couple guest eyes. And once you get that spark on, you lit the fire and they're going to start coming to the dance floor.
And that's why I try to mix during cocktail hour and dinner, because I try to throw things out to see what kind of reaction I'm going to get, and then kind of like do more, I guess you could say, upbeat songs, whereas the beginning of dinner might be laid back. But towards when we get close to the open dance part, I try to liven it up. So therefore, I'm basically grooming them for the dance floor.
Yes.
And then also, I was going to ask you, with that wedding, did you ask the couple what kind of songs did they want to listen to, or how?
They just said typical wedding music. So, and then they marked down like 70s disco, no rap. They wanted the Cupid Shuffle. They wanted the Cha-Cha Slide. They wanted the Macarena. They wanted the Electric Slide. They wanted the YMCA. It was basically an all Polish wedding, so they wanted polkas in there. So I'm like, okay, this would be a fun, should be a fun night. And I even asked the bridegroom, are they dancers? Oh yeah, they're dancers. So I was expecting, okay, we got 275 people. Even if we have 50 people out there dancing, that's a good show, Nobody, like I said, it was like they're glued to their seat. I'm like, what's up with these people? I mean, the Cupid Shuffle got a couple girls out. They got, the Macarena got a couple girls out, and a couple of guys came out, but it wasn't like any other event that I did, because usually put them on, boom, it'll automatically get the women out into the dance. But this was no. They were sitting there, they were planning. That was it. It's like
Because this is what I'm finding out over this last year. It's not so much asking what the couple likes, because what I found, especially this last wedding, the couple and their little demographics or age group was very, very small compared to what the guest list was. So that's why when I ask about their rate their guests between 1 being very laid back and not danceable to 10 being party animals, also try to get a kind of like a idea of what kind of crowd am I going to expect. Am I going to expect that older group? So therefore, just like you said, this is a dancing group, okay? But are they, like, for me, a dancing group could be anything. It could be like your line dance group, or that could be your hand dance group. Also, ballroom dancing, that old, the swing dance from like the 50s and 60s. That's a big thing here too. So those are extra questions that you got to kind of like follow up and ask to make your day a whole lot easier.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I ask the couples when I sit down at that meeting. Because a lot of couples, they want to give me their music right up front at the first meeting. And their wedding might be 9 months, a year out, a year and a half. I'm like, listen, no. I don't want no music yet. The last week before the wedding, that's when I want your music. 2 weeks prior to the wedding, I want your specialty songs. But that last week, that's when I need to, and I don't want no more than 20 songs because you're having requests. And I want a do not playlist too. That's when you sit down, you tell them, and this is how I always start the conversation off, especially when they give me the list of music and I see it's like all hip hop, maybe some EDM in there. Okay, well, I see you have 150 guests coming to the wedding. What's the age group? Well, we have from 80 to the 20s. Okay, well, now let's narrow it down. How many people 60 and older? Well, you got 150 people coming to the wedding. Well, there's 100 people that are 65 and older. Then you just keep your working your way down to, okay, from 21 to 28. Well, there's only 12 of us. Okay, well, every song you have on your list is EDM and this and that. I understand it's your day, but remember one thing. Your guests are coming to your wedding. They're giving you a gift. Your gift back to them is the music and the food. 6 months from now, they may remember some of the meal, but they will remember the music. It could be a year or two from now. They may not remember what they ate that day, but they'll remember the DJ and they'll remember the music. And if the DJ's on his microphone a lot, they'll say, geez, why was he on the microphone so much? Why didn't we hear all the songs? Why was he interrupting the songs? So what I like to do is make sure the music plays, but you have to get that demographics, like you said, of the age group. You make like a pie chart for yourself. Okay, I have 150 people. That's a whole, but this pie is this age group. This part of the pie is this age group, and this little sliver is 21 to 28, and you're gonna play hip hop all night. It's like no. So then they sit back and they'll say, okay, cover everything from the 50s through today. Okay, no problem. I got your 20 songs that you want to hear. I'm gonna take requests, and the 50s music, 60s music is. That genre is only slim to none. There's not that much music in that. Well, there's a lot of danceable music in the 60s, but not for a wedding. But 70s, 80s, there's a lot of music in those 20 years right there. I mean, tons of music you could go and hit on, So that's what I try to tell each couple. Make sure you think of your guest. Because if you just play hip hop all night, you're 100 and something people by 8 o'clock, they're going to be basically almost all gone. So you're going to end up with 25 people from 8:15 to 10 o'clock. It's not going to be much of a party then, you know?
And yeah, Kevin made a couple of good points. He says he asked doing his follow-ups on the paperwork because it's good to know whether they are party animals or just tame and chill, which means they are usually also probably older. And then also another way to find out what kind of music they like is to ask if they listen, what radio station they listen to, and then whether XM Cyrus station they listen to. Also, being open to song requests also helps as well.
Yes. That helps out a great deal. I know, again, it's their day. Some couples are like, not the couples, it's the bride usually saying, it's my day, and I want to hear what I want to hear. I understand that fully. But you have the guests, they're coming, they're giving you $25, they might give you $1,000. Who's to say they're giving you a gift? Your gift back to them is the meal. And the one thing that's going to stick with them is the music that DJ played and how he performed that night. That'll stick with them like you wouldn't believe. It'll stick with them like glue for years to come. And that's how you pick up gigs. That's how I picked up gigs because, geez, I seen you at so-and-so's wedding. Are you open this weekend? You look at your calendar. Yes, I am open. Now I got that little voice recorder. Boom, I can look at my calendar and everything's recorded. I don't have to worry. Did I say yes to these people? Did I, what did I do?
Mm-hmm. I was going to also say, it doesn't matter. Because when you really think about it, they're talking about, because me and Kevin had dealt with a couple last year that was like that. But when you really think about it, a lot of times when you get to open dancing, they take what did they call it? Sundown pictures. It's always a part where they leave and take more pictures. So therefore, that's the time to play to the older crowd or the group there. Because if you went, I don't know about you all's area, but the weddings I go to, a lot of the older people, as soon as the sun comes down, that's when they start exiting. Therefore, while they're taking their pictures, they're not going to hear those songs anyway. So that's when I go ahead and play it or play those safe in between songs, like your Michael Jacksons, your funk kind of song, disco songs, Bruno Mars, Justin Timberlake, and all that kind of stuff.
Run Around Sue and Grease and stuff like that, and Hand Jive and the Hokey Pokey. I mean, it's stuff like that these elderly people love to hear. You might have Aunt Sophie there. She hasn't heard a polka except for on the radio station, but she's been to 10 weddings in the last 12 years and she hasn't heard a polka, but all of a sudden she hears a polka at your wedding. Oh my God, I went to Mary's wedding and I heard 2 polkas. You'll be talking, Aunt Sophie carries a lot of weight because she's the oldest person in that family. Next thing you know, that word goes down. It's like a snowball effect. It keeps going. You might have a couple more people from that family that might be looking for a DJ because they're getting married. But he kept Aunt Sophie happy, kept the whole, not just her, but he kept the whole party, all the guests happy by mixing up the genres like that. I had, like you said, ask the guests. I had ask the clients. I had the bride and groom, both of them just loved country, but they said, listen, it's our day, but we can't listen to country all night. We have like 4 country songs on here. If you could get to them, okay. But please play out at least 1 or 2 country songs. Yeah, no problem. Turned out I ended up playing like 10 or 12 country songs because a lot of the guests like country too. So it worked out good. It wasn't that twangy country music,
And then Kevin went on to say that now that it's getting darker earlier, you could do the sparkle send-off. And there's the last few younger people weddings, they do this thing called a fake send-off, where when it starts to get dark and they know that a lot of the older guests are going to leave anyway, they have me do like their last fake, not, I shouldn't say fake last dance, their what do you call it, private solo dance.
Yes.
And then during that time, that's when you have everyone line up with their sparklers to do the fake send off. And then after they do the fake send off, that's when they come back, and then that's when we play all their music and they get turned up.
One thing I like about a lot of the venues I DJ at, they they don't offer to the client, but they'll say, like Brian will say, well, hey, we want to do a sparkler send off. And the venue will say, okay, yeah, there's no problem. There's one condition. Anybody that's intoxicated does not get a sparkler. And if there's too many people intoxicated, it's canceled. And you wouldn't believe the ones that got canceled. It's like, well, they warned you. They thank God that venue put it in their contract, because the one bride was irate about it. Well, it's in the contract. There's too many people intoxicated. They canceled it. That was it. I mean, they're protecting their interest, their venue. They're protecting other guests, because you don't know, somebody could be intoxicated, and those sparkler rods are hot. You hit somebody on the hand with that, or it happened just by accident, touch somebody's arm, man, oh man, you're gonna burn them bad,
Mm-hmm. And so let's move on so we can get to our topic.
Yeah.
But basically, let's go back over some of the questions, or the type of questions that we might ask for ourselves if we're DJing an event. And some of those questions would be like venue questions, like the outlets, load in, times you can come in and set up, and what time you have to be out. Another set of questions would be like the timeline kind of questions. What do they want in the timeline? How much time do you think they need? Or specific parts of the timeline, like the size of the wedding party, or who's doing what as far as toast, the names of the bridal party, so you have it for introductions and all that kind of stuff, and how to pronounce it. Special moments, musical preference, which we already talked upon. And now like the Bible app, because the Bible app, they not only can you send it to them, they can send a link and invite other people there. So ahead of time, I don't mind them sending the music ahead of time, because it makes it easier for me. So throughout the whole process, they can just send their Spotify playlist, put their link there, and all the songs will be there. And then for the older couple, they might want to send that link to one of their older couples or their younger couples, or their bridal party. And they can have input into what kind of music and vibe they want to party to.
What I do is I have a PDF created that says, dear guest, please pick out 3 songs that you may want to hear at our wedding. So they can photocopy it, cut it up, and put it in their invitation. And then they get it back, okay, just say 100 people. That's 50 invitations going out. Out of those 50 invitations, you're going to get so many duplicate, triplicates of these songs, like the Cupid Shuffle, Cha-Cha Slide, the Macarena. You might get some other songs from the 70s, that disco stuff. So, okay, these are very repetitive. Yeah, we're going to put this in, but there might be a song or two out there that a guest might write down, and say, geez, that'll go perfect for our wedding. But not only that when you send that to the guest, the invitation out, the guests are so happy now, because now they're participating in the wedding, in your wedding. And then when their song comes on, next thing you know, the wife or the husband who sat down and wrote that request is pulling the other spouse. So say if the husband wrote down that song, the song comes on, he's pulling his wife, come on, let's go get out on the dance floor. And I've seen it happen so many times, and the brides and grooms are like, man, that really works. And also it just it makes the guests so happy that you're including them in your day. It just makes them feel like they're a part of your wedding, So it's a plus for you, honestly.
Yep, and that's what I like about Vival. I don't have to worry about duplicates because everybody can see if that song was already
Yeah,
picked, and then they can also heart it. So
yeah,
therefore, you can see the songs that got hearted the most. So you have the popular songs at the top of the list, and then on down.
and then
Then
yeah,
also what I use Honeybook, and Honeybook included this thing called files and notes. So with that, that's where I can download the audio file, but I usually just download the transcript or the summary or the outline, and just put it in that folder, their profile. And I'm sure was it DJ Event Planner has something similar too, where you can just upload
yes,
like pictures or diagrams or notes that's specific to that event. So therefore, you can just go in one place and see all the information right there.
yeah.
Try to stay organized. That's the biggest thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. You have to stay organized. But my PDFs, when I send them to the client, they're edible, so that they're edible. You could edit them. You could put your name, everything in there. So that fills it in automatically for you. Then they just email me that back. I'm like, okay, I have a folder on my hard drive that has 2024, 2025, 2026 weddings. Then I have another one that just says, events, which are graduation parties, whatever. They all go into that one folder, into their, 2025 weddings. Well, all the weddings are in there. All the 2026 weddings are in there. So everything's there. Then I take that, I back it off to one hard drive. Then I back it off to another hard drive because you don't know when anything's going to crash today. It's just like you want to make sure you have a backup of that. And then I will email it to myself because your email will never go away. So, okay, well, I'm doing this way this week. You could pull it up on your phone at least. My both hard drives crashed and my computer crashed. My house burnt down. I lost everything, So now at least I have it still here on my phone in my Outlook or whatever you use for your email.
Yeah, I just rather just put it in the cloud and
Yeah.
be through with it. So therefore, I can just, no matter what computer I'm on, where I'm at, I can do it on my phone, and it's all right there.
Yes.
And then a lot of those files with the apps, it updates automatically. So it's not like one of those things where if you're doing it on your computer, you always got to go to that computer in order to get the latest version. Whereas if you do it on the web, when it updates in this one over here in this location, it automatically updates in all the other locations when you get to it.
I think Kevin said last week that he's old school. He's all paper. I'm basically the same thing. I'm all paper. I got so used to doing it that way. It's so hard. And the old saying is you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I guess I'm that old dog,
Mm-hmm. No, I'd rather, because it's easier just to reuse something that's digital as opposed to paper. Always having to copy the paper. Always have to worry about ink and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I'll get into that. That could be some other subject, maybe in the near future, about printers and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, and then the other thing is going back to what we said earlier, understanding the makeup of your guests. You need to make sure you ask the important questions. And then the main thing, and that's where a lot of my stress gets released, is once I talk to the client and nail down what their expectations are, and then they get my expectations, a lot of stuff that I was worrying about or I thought was super important really wasn't important. I was making a bigger deal out of it than what it was. So just by talking to them a lot of times, a lot of issues can be nipped in the bud before it happens.
Yeah, I mean, you and I, we're thinking as a DJ, we're thinking out of the box because we've done so many events and okay, they're expecting this, okay, this, and but if it didn't really work at that wedding, is it going to work at this wedding? So it's just like we have the knowledge that they don't have. So it's like we worry about it and we try to explain that to them. And sometimes they'll listen. Sometimes it's nope, it's my way or not the highway. So they're paying you. Okay, we'll try it. And then when they see it doesn't work, oh boy, we should have listened to Dwayne, or we should have listened to Mike, or Kevin, or whoever else is in the chat, big DJ services. We should have listened to him. I mean, it's just we have the knowledge of doing this. This is what we do for a living. But it's some people it's just tunnel vision. They don't want to listen to nobody else.
Yeah, I haven't ran into any of that. I have ran into people that ask for odd things, and my thing is to ask them the importance or the meaning behind why they really want it. And so far, I've been lucky to run into people where we can come to I guess you could say, compromise. They still get what they want, but we do it in such a way that it works and it still flows. So I guess that's the main point.
I have one question for you. Have you ever had a bridezilla?
I would say I've ran into bridezillas, or they gave off bridezilla vibes, but because we talked, I was able to not take the blunt, of their, I guess you could say, their heat wave like Godzilla. Or I always ask, who is your go-to person? So therefore I can avoid the bridezilla. I can go to the go-to person.
Yes, I did a wedding. It was for my friend's cousin, and the bride seemed very nice. She booked me 2 years in advance. She wanted to pay me for everything right up front. I'm like, and this is right after I first started DJ. I'm like, no, just pay me that evening. But that week of the wedding, I'm calling, make that final meeting with her, and she had every excuse in the book. Well, back then there was no Zoom or anything like that. So I'm like, we have to have this meeting, even if we talk on the phone. Well, I'm too busy. I said, email me your playlist. You haven't sent me my form back yet. At the day of the wedding, she's still never sent me the form back. She wrote everything down on a napkin. I'm like, well, you can't create a hotspot with your phone or nothing like that. I'm out in the middle of nowhere for this wedding, big, beautiful tent. And I had their first dance song, but it wasn't by the artist she wanted. Her husband downloaded the song from LimeWire or whatever. So I transferred over to my system, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. 24 seconds into the song, it died. That was it. She turned, she looks at me. I looked at her, I said, the file's corrupt. That's all he got when he downloaded it. Oh boy. That's the worst thing I ever said, because when she turned around, she gave him a backhander on the dance floor. I'm like, I went running right out. I said, listen, I'll play the other artist. Sounds just like him. No, I need it by this. I'm like, I'm sorry. You didn't get back to me. She gave another backhander. I'm like, this poor groom is getting beat up in the middle of the dance floor. The go-to person was her mom. Guess what? The mother was worse than the bride. I'm like, oh, I'm not even talking to her. I'm just going to deal with the bride because, yeah, she was evil. But at least I could somehow come to some kind of conclusion with her. The mother was no. It was like climbing Mount Everest with her, So I'm like, that ain't coming. I'm just going with the bride, even though I'm not happy with it. But so now, before I even say yes, I try to feel them out. And if I feel any bad vibes from them, I'm booked for that weekend. I'm so sorry. I don't want to deal with that. Well, let some other DJ deal with it. It's just unfortunately that there's people out there that are like that. It's like, why do you have to be so evil? You know, but they are.
Yeah, that's why I like, again, I don't want to be the one that act like I'm getting sponsored by Bible, but that's why I like Bible, because there's no mix up on what song version of the song to play, because they put it in there, so I have it. And if push comes to shove, I just go and get that exact song, even though I might already have a version of it, just to make sure, especially like the special dances, I make sure I have that exact version of that song that they put in the Bible app, and just delete it when I get finished.
I think if Bible was around back then, I don't think she would have filled that out. That this girl was just she's pure lazy. That's it. But the thing is, she was super wealthy. So every guest that was there, I was considered a hired hand. A caterer was a hired hand. They ordered so much food, it was unbelievable, because there was just a little over 500 people at this wedding. There was so much food. I'm looking at all this food. I'm like, oh, okay, I could go up and get a plate of food. So, you know, I stepped away from my booth, and the mom said, well, where are you going? I said, I'm going to go get a plate of food. She goes, listen, you're a hired hand. You don't eat here. You don't drink nothing here. Not even a water. I'm like, oh, okay.
Is that the one where the ladies got to go through the side door?
Yeah, no. This was it was the outdoor. It was right at their house, and you couldn't really see their house like when it was daylight. But once the nighttime fell, all these lights just started lighting up. Their house was a mansion. I'm like, oh, I thought, well, now I know the way she is. None of the staff from the catering staff could take a drink of water. And they had extra water in the back of their truck. She said, no, I paid for that. That's mine. Do not drink it. But thank God I had a cooler with some Gatorade and some iced teas with me. If not, I would have been there for 7 hours without having a drink in my hand. I'm like, oh, this is crazy, you know? I couldn't believe it.
Yep. So let's move on. So last week, again, we talked about questions that we would ask if we were DJing an event. But tonight, I want to continue and talk about things that if we can't DJ the event for some reason, we get sick or for an emergency comes up and we have to hand it off to someone, what information would we hand off to the other DJ to make them successful? And then also I want to take a look at the point of view from the emergency DJ. What kind of information do you need, being that it's last minute? Or because I heard in some cases the day of. So you just, example, you have Will. I know Kevin had passed me on some stuff. I got to find that person to pass on gigs to this around here.
And you know what? As a DJ, we have a lot of DJs in our area, but you got to pick and choose what DJ is going to fit for you for that event. So if it's a wedding, you want the best of the best going to that event if you can't make it. I know a ton of DJs that I can refer different gigs out to them, but for weddings, it's Will, or if Tyler, when he gets out of service, moves back to the area, it'd be Will and Tyler. The information that I would pass along to him, okay, I talked to the venue. I'm going to send you my copy of my wedding planner, which has everything on it. It's going to give you the time that you can get there to set up. It's going to give you, the location, the venue manager. It's going to give you the whole script for the evening, like the bridesmaids' names, the groom's names. Are they going to walk in as couples? Are they going to come in as, ladies and gentlemen, our bridesmaids, ladies and gentlemen, our groomsmen? That's a new thing now, which I think is so much easier. And then, if there's any specialty songs, I'm going to put them down. There's the formality songs. That's already highlighted for the wedding. But just little things like the bride and groom want to specifically hear this song. And if they gave me a 20 list, I will send that over to say, Will. I'll send everything over to that I have. I want to make sure, again, mine's very simplistic, but it's direct and to the point. You don't have to go in. I mean, if they say, okay, you have to load in through the side door, well, I'd have that in there. Load in through side door. Weddings that, say you're doing the ceremony, which is in the same hall, that starts at 3:00. I would say, okay, well, they're allowing you to come in at 12:30, 1:00. So, I mean, that's pushing. You only have 2 hours to get all your stuff set up, but some venues are like that. So you can't control that. But I would have everything broken down from the start to the end. And some venues, they don't want you to do the crowd be cheering, one more song, one more song. Some venues are like, 10:00, you're done. So you got to say, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sharing. So, you're with so-and-so. Please drive safe on your way home. From the bride and, from Jessica and Jimmy, they want to thank you all for being with them. Again, if you're intoxicated, please take an Uber or go home with somebody that is a designated driver. Thank you. I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I hope everybody enjoyed my music, and out the door I go. But I take my wedding planner and just to email it over to Will or whoever the DJ is going to fill in for me. But if there's certain specific stuff in there, like the emails I have corresponding with the bride and groom, specific songs, the playlist that they're giving me, that will go over to the DJ that's filling it in for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going back to, and I don't want to sound like I'm beating this person up for all that information that they sent, because a lot of the information that was on that 20+ page document, yes, it's important and it made sense, but it also only made sense to him. Mm-hmm. And if you never seen that document, or if you never talked to the couple, some of that stuff to me, it didn't make sense. And then what I noticed about his thing, and again, I'm going to go back to Bible. I have a lot of questions on Bible, but if the couple doesn't answer those questions, when I do the printout, those questions don't appear. Whereas this person's document, it had every single sentence, every single direction, instructions, you name it, it remained there. And a lot of that stuff you had to read through it to realize there's no question, there's no answer there. So therefore, you didn't need to know that. So a lot of that stuff, I'm like, when you hand out information to me, I prefer a quick summary. Just give me a summary of the important things that I need to know, because I'm not there, and time is of an essence for me to prepare and get ready for this event. So to read all through that extra stuff, I'm like, that's kind of like counterproductive to me. So with my thing is, with Bible, again, I have a bunch of questions that I ask the client. And if they don't answer it, it doesn't print out, which I like. And so this is the timeline. No, this is the timeline that I give the vendors. Because because I was an emergency DJ, I try not to put my branding on me sci-fi entertainment, because again, I don't know what was discussed. I just know they were told that the original DJ wasn't their DJ that I was filling in. I do know they were told that, but I don't know how it was told or presented. So I didn't want to come up and have me sci-fi over there when they was like, wait a minute, I thought we hired music, whatever this other company is. I hired
DJ Mikey Mike. Yeah. All of a sudden, you can't be there.
Yeah, so I was trying to stay in code, and not take any shine away from the person that I was filling in for. But basically, my whole point was I just basically have the time there because that's all they need is the time. Any kind of important notes just to remind people what they're supposed to be doing here. Like at 3:30 I'm supposed to mic up the officiant and the groomsman. And then the prelude, and then the songs. So therefore, it's easy to read, and it's only a couple of pages, as opposed to having 20-some pages of stuff. And it's clear and straight to the point.
Exactly. You're clear, straight to the point, and there's no guesswork that has to be done by us. It's just, it's dead on for you. It's right there. That the DJ that you're passing on doesn't have to call you and say, well, Dwayne, what did he mean by this? Dwayne, what did he mean by that? I mean, it's clear and simple. It's basic. And if they're calling you because it's a basic question, it's like, uh-oh, maybe I picked the wrong DJ to pass this to,
I was trying to see if I can make this one. Yeah, I can.
That's like some of these multi-ops, some of these DJs that work for multi-ops, I'm like, wow, you're a DJ? Like, really? But it makes me think twice because, I mean, everybody's out there to make a quick buck today. The multi-op, the person sitting back there taking, doing all the questions, everything, then compiling everything and sending it to the DJ. They're the one that's doing a lot of the work. The DJ shows up, he has the music, everything, but there's no personality, there's no nothing because it's not their company. They're working for so-and-so, and they don't. I heard this from so many DJs. We'll never see that couple again. Yeah, they have 150 guests there. You may run into them in another wedding. They may be looking for a DJ in the near future. You have to think, again, out of the box with some DJs there. So, narrow-minded, tunnel vision, and some are just doing it for a part-time job. Some are college students that they go working at McDonald's. They're working Monday, Tuesday, and Friday nights, or next weekend it might be Friday, Saturday, Sunday night. They go work for a DJ because they're majoring in communications. They work a Saturday night for 5 hours. They might make $600-700 or $800. All the other people that are working at McDonald's or Burger King, it's taking them 2 weeks to make what that guy made in one night. So that's where you see a lot of DJs, these multi-ops, hiring people that are in college for communications. I know one DJ, he actually is a radio DJ, and the station he works for, they hire a bunch of interns. Well, he hires the interns to do his setup, do the sound checks, do everything. He comes in right before introductions. That's it. It's like, boom, like, wow. Yeah, that's a great thing. You and I are busting our bubble to get everything in there set up, do our own sound checks, make sure the lights are working the right way, make sure this. We're going over our client's request and the whole playlist. When this guy just shows up, it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. I see Buddy's in the chat.
Hey, Buddy.
But I was getting ready to say, because you said something now, I should have typed it down so I can remember what to say. Oh no, I know what it was. To me, I just don't. After the wedding is over with, that's not the last time I reach out to the couple. I definitely do a follow up. Either that the next day or that Monday or Tuesday, thanking them for, hiring me, or I definitely on their anniversary or holidays, send another like holiday message or anniversary message to like keep my name out there.
Yes, I will tell you, like, I want to say 85% of the people that I've done weddings for are friends on my Facebook pages. I think I have 3 Facebook pages, but the one I primarily use now is DJ Mikey Mike. But it'll come up memories. It'll be that person's wedding. And it'll be that whole album that I created for them, and I share that again. Next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call, a text message. Mike, thank you for sharing our anniversary. Like, no problem. It's just common courtesy that takes you to certain places that it's unbelievable. And some DJs don't believe in it. One thing, like you said, you will follow up like that Monday. I always ask the bride and groom, hey guys, are you just going on a honeymoon? Yeah, we're leaving tomorrow, or we might be leaving tonight. So I know, okay, I'll wait to not that Monday, but the following Monday to follow up with, hey, how was your honeymoon? Did you just have a great time? Hopefully it was just as good. You just told me you had a great time at the wedding. Hopefully it was just as good as your wedding, and just, yeah. Because a couple times I texted the bride and groom, hey guys, what's happening? Oh, we're on our honeymoon, Mike. I'm like, oh boy, okay, ladies, go. Give me a call when you get back. Just wrong place, wrong time.
Yep. I see we have another fellow Leo in the chat. Adrian E. He just had a birthday, so I'd like to wish him a happy belated birthday.
Yes.
And then the Shuffle couple is in the house.
Hey, what's happening there? It's a Shuffle couple. I love their videos. Oh my God, they are great.
And because I always ask, I'm like, especially on Saturday, because I had thought about them too. When I got there, I was like, how do they manage to DJ and then turn around and talk to the camera? It's like there was no time for me to do anything other than either
focus,
dodge raindrops, try to remember to record. So I got a lot of the footage. I just have to put it all together. And then move my stuff. We was constantly changing throughout the whole night. So I give them a lot of props for doing that.
God, yeah. I love it. Okay, we'll talk to you later. And it's like, okay, we're gonna eat now. And I go, okay. I love their videos. But one thing, I have a question for them. Does their band have a lift gate or whatever? Because my mechanic, my band's like on its last legs. So I very rarely use it anymore. So he told me, Mike, I found you another van. And I said, okay, it's a full-size van. It was for a handicapped person, and it actually has a lift. So I can just put everything on my cart, put it on that lift, it'll lift it up, and I can just wheel it in. Next thing you know, put the next one on it, wheel it in. It won't be no lifted, which will be great for me.
Mm-hmm. And Buddy was asking, how much prep time do you do for a wedding? Mine's vary.
Minimum 22 hours, maximum, depending on what the couple wants. It could be 40, 45, 50 hours prior to the wedding. Because I had a couple of weddings that the bride and groom were specifically wanted music not from America. They wanted it from, like, say, the one bride, she wanted a song, and it was by Ray Charles. Beautiful song, If I Could. It was never released here in America. The only place it was released was in Europe. Our local music store, which is a very great store, Joe Nardone's music, Joe Nardone's Gallery Sound, they thought they were going to be able to get me the CD. They tried and tried and tried, and they could not find a copy of that CD nowhere. So, I had to call the bride back. The bride's like, okay, wait. One of her relatives lived over in Europe and sent her the MP3 of it right from the album, which was great. I had, I didn't go to YouTube and rip it off there. I had it, the original MP3. So when you get stuff like that, that makes you do a little bit more work, it takes a little bit more time.
And then Will is in the chat.
Hey, Will.
He said, what's up, old guys?
Hey, how's it back, buddy?
Yep. But to me, it depends. It depends on the wedding. Because I've learned it's like I do the podcast. I talk about all these resources and then don't think to use it. But lately, I made a point to start using these resources. So if they send me like a big, huge written list, I just send it over to ChatGPT, put in artist, title, format, and once I get that list, copy, paste it into, was it Tune My Playlist or Tune My Music or whatever that website is, and put it into a Spotify playlist. So therefore, I have the Spotify playlist backup if I have to use my phone for some reason. But then I take that Spotify playlist, send it over to Crate Hackers, and then use that link, and Crate Hackers will go through my music library and tell me whether or not I have that song. And then if I don't have it, Crate Hackers underneath would tell me where I can get it, what streaming service has it, or what record pool has it, and I can get it. So it doesn't take that long to do it. And then also, you got the AI in Virtual DJ, and then I still use ChatGPT. And if there's a certain theme or certain, I guess you could say, group I'm DJing for, I just ask ChatGPT what kind of songs would fit there. Yeah. So it gave me a bunch of songs. Again, I'd use the Crate Hackers to find it in my music library. But the main thing is to go through and listen to those songs. Because again, AI will send you some stuff. And it's like, I listen to the songs, just go through it. I don't listen to the whole thing. I just listen to a snippet just to see if it fits the kind of flow I want. And then once I get it to there, I just leave it at that. So it doesn't take that long anymore, especially since I use Vibe. If the clients are good and diligent with doing the Vibe app throughout, then my prep time is little to none.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as I can read the timeline and in my mind walk through the timeline and the transitions, I'm good to go. So the prep doesn't take that long anymore because I got a workflow and a system together.
Yeah. I stand to be correct with saying like my hours, since AI has come into it, it has cut back on the times. But most times now is just like the meetings. Sometimes you get stuck in traffic. You might be sitting 20 minutes at a red light, whatever. But the actual prep time at home now is a lot less than what it was because of AI. I mean, even creating videos now. I mean, DaVinci Resolve, AI is in that. Yeah, I mean, it'll make shorts for you. It'll do this. It'll actually edit your video. If your sound quality isn't good, it'll adjust your sound quality for you. It's like, wow, I see all these ads like, here, do this for this video. It will do this for you. I mean, I don't know how much the app is because it's basically, I don't know if it's on your phone or if you could download it into your computer. But right before we got online, I seen one. This guy just uploaded a video of a wedding. He was a DJ, and it created a long form. It created a bunch of shorts for him. It created TikTok. I'm like, the guy said he didn't do nothing. He said he just uploaded the video, and it took them like a day, but it downloaded everything back into his computer for him. I'm like,
I forgot what program that was. I saw it might be the same video. I saw that.
I was shocked. I'm like, man, you don't have to do no color correcting. You don't have to do. I'm like, Jesus, this is amazing. I know Will hurt his back last week. That's why I asked him how his back was.
And then Buddy said, Will said he's taking Tylenol. And then he says, it depends on the list. That's what the shuffle couple said. But Buddy, going back to Buddy saying charging lights, meeting with customers, calling venues for walkthroughs, getting music, that all take time. I put in 30 hours plus. But see, everything, I guess because I don't do it all at one time and it's over a long period of, a stretch of time, I'd lose track. I don't keep a log of when I'm working. Because even to me, like I chuckle every time I hear a cool thing says, I'm in the office. I'm going to the office. I'm like, my office could be my bed. My office could be in line at the
My
grocery
office could be the
stores.
bathroom.
Right. So, because that's why I was going back to what I was saying earlier. That's why I like to do everything in the cloud. So therefore, I don't have to be stuck sitting in the chair. I can do it on my phone, my iPad, or my computer. And then like driving, you mentioned driving. If there's something that comes through where I don't need to pull up those documents, that's why I prefer to just let them know that I'm going to record this and then ask them questions. Therefore, I have it. And when I get home, I'll be able to go over the information and, answer their questions and stuff.
I mean, it's certain technology like the voice recorders. They're making our jobs a lot easier. In certain aspects, it's making our jobs easier for our mind because we don't have to second guess that they say this, that they say that. We have it. It's recorded. Yes, they did say it. So we're good. Just like text messaging, I was supposed to, I DJ this one event and the wife went off on me like, you were supposed to be here at this time. I'm like, no, I'm booked from this time. No, I told you this time. I said, hang on one second. I took a screenshot of the agreed time. I sent it back to her. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, when you have something in black and white, and I hate to do that, but you send it to them, then they see it. And it's like, oh, okay, like there was a friend of mine, so I didn't make them sign no contract, but I did say, text me what time you want me to DJ. This way, I knew I have it in black and white.
But that's one thing I do like about HoneyBook. Even though you pay a little bit, HoneyBook, they got AI integrated into it now. So all that stuff automatically populates. So therefore, as soon as I put something, an entry into their profile, like a meeting time, it'll automatically send them a meeting reminder. So it does a lot of little menial tasks that either I don't have time to do or I'll forget to do, but basically keep everybody in line. And then also give me an outline of what the meeting agenda will be about and all that. So
and in today's world, everything is so fast paced. Even for the bride and groom, they have so much stuff on their plate. And then they may forget about the meeting and schedule something else with the photographer or the venue. And then they'll say, all of a sudden, you're calling, okay, we're still good for tonight. They're like, oh, we scheduled something with the venue. Or we scheduled. I'm pretty easy. Okay, we could do it tomorrow, whatever, but we need it done before Thursday. Or Thursday's the cutoff date. If you can't meet Thursday, I got your songs, but basically your formality signs, everything are going to be what you picked, but everything else is going to be, it's going to be what I think is going to fit your wedding. But again, everything, like I said, is so fast paced, and a bride and groom, since we do this all the time, they don't realize the stress that they can be put under. That's why I always tell them, listen, call me. I will help you with anything you need. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I know how to handle this. I know how to handle that. It just, we have the knowledge. So with our knowledge, we know how to handle certain situations. There are certain situations, even though we have the knowledge, guess what? Especially if it's a bridezilla or a mother-in-law Zilla, whatever you want to say, or a mother-zilla, there ain't no way you're getting through to them,
But see, that's why I like when I book a wedding or event and the client is comfortable with using the Vibe app, and they also book me way in advance. So therefore, when I send the app out, being that they already know that I'm a teacher, that we have certain teacher ways. So I would create I guess you could say syllabus kind of thing. So when I do my check-ins, when I send that Vibe app out, I'm not sending it out for them to sit in one sitting and try to answer everything or put on their whole songs in. I try to give them like a I guess you could say a timeline or a syllabus kind of thing.
Yeah.
So since it'll be like, we're this far out from your event, so let's divide this up. So this is our check-in point at this certain time. Let's see if we can have this task done or completed.
Yeah.
And also with the Bible app, you can see whether or not they did it. So if they slow about moving, then I try to fill in some stuff for them, or just go ahead and ask them like a couple of questions, so I can start getting, because they'll answer back, a couple of questions. Therefore, you can go and start inputting the information that you need. So therefore, they can see progress being made and not feel overwhelmed.
Yes. I mean, and it is overwhelming for them. Again, it's their first time getting married. Some of the brides, some of the grooms, they do put a lot of it's self-inflicted stress on themselves. Like, why are you stressing out? Listen, this is not going to take place. This is what's going to happen. This is what's going to happen. And like you said, it's self-inflicted. They're thinking, overthinking what we should do at this point or what we should do at that point. It's like, no, don't overthink that. Cake cutting's nothing. Don't worry about that. Or the first dance, that's nothing. Don't worry about that. But again, it's just, they want everything to be perfect. And I always tell them, listen, we're all human. We're not perfect. There may be a mistake. Don't worry about it. For the bride, if you rip your gown, there's a seamstress that could take care of that. The groomsman, well, if you damage the tuxedo, guess what? You're by that. It's just different little things like that. And then if I see them stressed out the day of the wedding, like say the ceremony, and I can see the groom's like, oh my God, he's really stressed out. I'll say, dude, your fly's down. Oh, he'll turn around and like, Mike, it ain't down. I'm like, I got you. And then he's smiling. It just took that level of stress away from him. It's just different little things that you could do us as DJs that will reduce some of their stress for them,
Yeah, that's why also if I get a client that tells me we're stressed out about help about the timeline and we need help doing the timeline and planning for their wedding day, I assure them that first of all I can help them take some of that stress off, and that's I also tell them that's why they're paying X a number of dollars for me to take on the stress, so therefore certain little things they don't have to worry about. But also that's why I made a whole bunch of blog posts on my website. So therefore I can send out little ideals or nuggets to send them, to give them some ideas, so at least they can read it, and it makes it look like I know what I'm doing. And I have it. Yeah, but it gives me that extra, I guess you could
gives
say,
you more confidence too.
Yeah, because it's almost like Joe Blow sending you something as opposed to getting something from a DJ company or the official big groups like your DJN network. It's something that seems like there's a brand behind that person. So by me sending out polished stuff and sending out those little nuggets like weekly or every other week, just to let them know that I'm here, a lot of my couples feel more relaxed and they're more inclined about filling out my questionnaires and all that other menial tasks that they have to do.
I'll tell you, when they walk into the reception area, and say their ceremony's right in the same reception area, and they see you relaxed, that you're not stressed, that actually brings the stress level down for them too. I seen one that the photographer was very stressed. The bride and groom were very upset then. I'm like, listen, don't worry about it. He has backup batteries. He has a backup of whatever went wrong. He has backups of this, And I'm praying that he has the backups of it, which he did. But it just, they see something that might stress them out. Boom. It's like lighting that wick. You're just waiting for that wick to get to the firecracker to explode. It's like, I look at the photographers. Why did you have to do that now?
Mm.
Well, you could have went into the discreet area and did it instead of the bride and groom seeing you doing it. You know, it's just different little things that help us. And being a DJ, like just say, I'm just gonna say for weddings, you know, we go to work, you punch in, you do your job, you punch out, you go home. And that's on a daily basis. You're basically doing the same thing every single day. You're seeing this, like you as a school teacher, you've seen the same students every day. As a DJ, this is our job. We punch in when they first call us. When we get to the venue, we may have DJ there before, but guess what? It's a new job because it's a new client. And you don't know how they're going to be on their wedding day. You know, it's not like a regular job. Every wedding is a new Super Bowl. We have to shine that day. We have to knock it out of we have to kick that winning field goal at the end of the game. You know, the game is tied and there's only 3 seconds left to go. We as the DJ have to put it through the uprights and say, all right, so and so won. You know, it's different than going to work. And some DJs are like, oh no, it's not. It's just a job. It is, but it isn't.
And then Kevin said he will tell you, my friend, it doesn't take him any prep time at all. And then Buddy says the meeting he had last night with a customer was 2 hours. And he tracks all of his times in his payroll software. And then I see Diego's in the chat. And then Buddy went on to say that time management is key. You need to know how much time you spend on tasks, just like any job. Even if you're not being paid, work smarter and not harder. And that's why it's important to have systems in place. Make sure you have your workflow running nice. And also make sure you're organized. That's the biggest thing. You gotta have your stuff organized, especially going back to this emergency DJ thing, because there's times somebody might call you at the last minute. You don't have time to go get stuff or try to organize stuff. Your stuff needs to be packed and ready to go right then, so you can just jump right in your vehicle or load your vehicle real quick and get there. And your music library gotta be on point. So therefore you can get to those songs, be able to read the crowd and pivot the way you need to be able to do.
What I do, like, I know you have basically all battery power lights too, same with me. I always keep a couple on the charger, at least 8 of them, because you never know. You're gonna get that phone call, say, "Oh, hey, you know, our DJ canceled us. Can you show up?" You have 3 hours to get here. Well, you know, my batteries are dead on my lights. Okay, yeah, I could plug them in there. I would rather have 8 lights ready from the bags, put them out the door, I go. You know, I know they're charging, they're gonna last the whole night. It's simple to keep them on the charger. And that's just for an emergency gig. You're not going to overcharge the battery. Their systems are built so good. I don't care if you buy the Chinese knockoff brands or the most expensive ones. They have a certain thing that they won't overcharge the battery. So that's a great thing. I always keep something charged up. I have a wedding folder that has, you know, like I use virtual DJ, so it's a virtual folder. It has entrance, you know, like the entrance in it says bridal party, our parents, bridal party, bride and groom. And in each subfolder like that, I have their songs they want to come into. That's it. I mean, it's already, those folders are there. All you gotta do is grab their music and just drop them in each folder. So I don't have to worry about searching out that song when I get to the venue. I have that already prepared. I mean, they call and say, "Mike, can you do this wedding?" Yeah, we're only going to be 3 hours. That first 20 minutes, I'm sitting at the computer, just all right, boom, I got the songs, I'm loaded, they're good. Get to the venue, get set up. There it is. The songs are there already.
Yep, and that goes back to again, knowing how to use AI too. Because again, if you have a couple of hours and they say, here's the list, here's the songs, here's the main songs, to be able to take that list and get it somehow into your music library quickly, that's the key. And knowing how to use AI to kind of like get to the meat of it and get it transferred over to something that's going to be usable, that's the main thing you pretty much need to worry about. Getting back to, Will said add 45 minutes to my time, and is loading the vehicle and charging mics and lights part of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. See, I don't even look at it that way because I'm not getting paid by the hour. So I guess.
Well, yeah, you are, you're not.
Yeah.
You know, like Buddy has his band. He has basically all his stuff in there too. He don't have his controller or his mixer in there. He doesn't have his computer or hard drives in there. But the basic stuff he has in there. So that's one step ahead. May have to, throw his computer in there, may throw his hard drives in there, maybe his I don't know, he keeps all his speakers in there or not. But he's already one step ahead because it's in his band. That's when I loved when my band was up and running really good. Mm-hmm. It was in there. I didn't have to worry about it. I didn't have to worry, oh, did I bring my speaker pulls? Did I bring this? Okay, all I gotta do is bring my hard drives, bring my mixer, bring my controller, and bring my computer. Mm-hmm. Put them in the band, boom, away I go.
Yep. But going back to the timeline, this is the timeline that I use. This is my DJ timeline. So it has a little bit, it has more information on it than, the ones that I'll give the vendors. And then again, this is from Vibe. And this one still is only 6 pages. So if you do front and back, that's only 3 pages. But basically all the information that you really need, and again, in Vibe, if they don't answer a question, then it doesn't print out. And I wish this guy's kind of whatever he used, platform he used, would do that, because there was a lot of stuff on there that didn't even go with, the event on Saturday. But it just basically, it tells you everything, all the main information that you need. And that's it. Still the time, the section of the event, and there'll be songs here, the questions, the answers to the questions, and any extra notes that I have down, they'll be here. Like starting the song at the 2-minute and 5-second mark and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But still, my whole point was being able to also summarize and break it down for the DJ that's picking, the emergency DJ that's picking up the gig. It's also key. It's like they don't need a encyclopedia. Give them a breakdown of what's important. Make sure you give whatever paperwork you give them is clear so they can go ahead, read it and understand it and get the job done.
Exactly. Make it as most simplistic as you can, that a DJ doesn't even have to, even like a lay person can read it and understand it and decipher it. But when you have all that other stuff, like you have those 24 pages, it was like you're bouncing like a pinball. It's here or there, here or there. So, it's like you get instructions for something, and I love you'll be reading the instructions. Okay, this part's continued on page 24. It's like, wait a second, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have to go to page 24. Then you're reading it back. Okay, well, now the rest of it's on page 9. It's like, now I'm going back to page 9. Like, can't they make the instructions A through Z? Nope, they have to bounce it all around. It's like a pinball in a pinball machine, like, why?
But going back to Vibe, so you can kind of like see it. Let me close this. How can I get this? Where is? I'll just close it from here. Bible, because you can kind of like see. I think I got an empty one because I didn't want to put anybody's information up there. So with the Bible app, for each section, for most of the sections, there's like a group of questions that the client can read and they can answer it. Also, when I sit and talk to them and go through the Bible app, I might just go ahead and ask them those questions and just put the answers down. So at least we got something accomplished. And so with this one, like they can answer the questions, but then they can also add their songs. They can either search the song, give me their Spotify playlist, also their song ideals for each section. So if they need some inspiration, they could click on some of these playlists and see a song and then put some songs over. So this is why I like this app, because everything is right there and self-explanatory.
I'm looking at here on my PC screen. I mean, what's nice about that too is if they leave something blank, you can come back and ask them, say, well, why did you leave this blank? And then they can explain it to you. You know, it's good that that's that way, because otherwise you're second guessing. Should I ask them or shouldn't I ask them? Why did they leave it blank? No, I'm going to ask them why they left it blank.
And I also put question marks next to the different segments on the timeline. So if there's a question that haven't been answered or something, at least I'll be able to visually see it, or put something there to visually call attention to it. So therefore, even if they're going through, because it's just like a Google document, we can all see everybody's input in real time. So even though we're in different spots, as soon as I put something down in the app, they can also see it. So therefore, they'll be able to see if I have a question. So basically, we can ask questions right there about a certain segment, and we could do it at any time throughout the week, throughout the day, and not feel like we're intruding on somebody's, personal time.
Now, the last wedding I did, it was an emergency wedding, but bride marked down best man and maid of honor, given toast. Well, it turned out it was those two plus 4 more for the bride side, 4 more for the groom side. So there was a total of 5 and 5, but she never wrote them down. And I'm like, I went up to the bride. I said, listen, I said, you never wrote these people down. So I didn't think I had to. I said, well, I don't care about them giving a speech. But the thing is, now the manager of the venue, or actually it was the owner of the venue, now it's getting pretty perturbed because you started late to begin with. Now you're having 5 speeches. Food's starting to get cold. She can't reheat it already. She heated it up 4 times. I mean, you don't drop that on a DJ. But then as a DJ, you don't want to hit mute on them either. So it's like, it puts us between the rock and a hard spot. And then the owner just said, that's it. We're serving the food. We don't care if they're giving speeches, whatever. We're just dishing the food out. That was it. And I was hoping that it was a sit-down dinner. I was hoping that they had to get up and eat. We go to the line. And no, it was a sit-down dinner, because this way it would have ended the speeches a lot quicker. But it wasn't that way. I'm like, these people giving the speeches, the one was like 17 minutes long. Like, why do you have to give a 17-minute speech? Like, really? Make it quick, sweet, to the point, and boom, pass the microphone out, But nope, this one had to give a 17-minute speech. Like, oh my God.
Yep. So let's do these last 2 segments, and maybe we can end closer to our show tonight. But we had talked about the questions that we asked for ourselves. Then we just talked about what happens if we can't do it after we already talked to the client, and now we handed it off to another person. So what kind of information do we need to make sure that our backup has in order to be successful? Now let's talk about us as the emergency DJ. So what are some of the things that you ask? Because I know after this experience, I know one thing I want to ask: what day, what time, and definitely how much I'm getting paid. Period. The pay thing is going to be one of the top 3 things I ask.
My top one is the location, start time and end time, and what was the other DJ charging? You catch me off guard with that. And most of the time, 99% of the time, they will tell you exactly what the other DJ is charging. Sometimes they won't. They'll tell you a cheaper price so they can get you at a cheaper price. But you have to think as a DJ. Most DJs today, they want, the last 30 days, you have to be paid up within the 30 days. So they paid this DJ, it was 3,000. They paid him 3,000 already. And they lost that. I know I have a clause on mine, if I cancel, I have to pay them back. This DJ that canceled on this wedding room, they had to take him to court because he didn't have no clause in there that he was going to give the money back to me. They just booked him and signed the contract. Check as a couple out there, if you're getting married, make sure you read that contract over very well. And make sure that if the DJ cancels on you, that you get your money back. Because now you pay $3,000 for this DJ. Now you're going to have to pay another. Say with me, I might say, well, hey, I have to travel 2.5 hours. Well, that gig is $4,250. So now they have to pay $7,500 basically. $7,250. And I feel bad for them, but I got to get paid. I got to make a living. So same way in your spot, you have to make a living. You're not doing this for free. You're a DJ. You're a professional DJ. So they have to respect that too. And I know some DJs that say, okay, hey, this is an emergency. Well, my normal price is usually $2,500 or $3,000. Well, now it's up to $5,500 because you need me. And if you don't book me, there's nobody else out there, so you're gonna pay the $5,000 for me,
Mm-hmm. And because Diego just asked, can you make the question where you have to answer? You can't skip around. How did he word it?
Avoid.
Can you make some questions a must answer in Bible? Like if they can't move forward. And I don't see that per se. Because basically Bible, it's not linear, so you can skip around throughout the whole app. So it's not like a Google form where, Google form where you can have a set where they can't move on to the next question or next part without completing certain things. So it doesn't look like it's set up that way. And then there was something else. Buddy has made a couple of statements. He was going back to logging your time. He says, that is still time. Do a spreadsheet. Use your phone as a stopwatch. See how much time you use. It's more than you think. And then he says, Bible is great. I love it. Not cheap. And it makes your work easier. And then he said, yes, you can. I just have to look at it.
Well, I'm going to say what Buddy's like. If you make a phone call to a client, they'll say what time you called, and especially on an iPhone, the time you called and the time you got off the phone with them. So that right there, they'll say, okay, you're on the phone for 49 minutes. So you don't have to really worry about making, I would just chat, Jonathan, I talked to Chad and Jessica for 49 minutes today in today's date. You just say, okay, well, I texted them today and we had a conversation it'll show you your first text out Like it might be 10 o'clock in the morning, and the last text he sent them might have been 10:45. So it's an hour and 45 minutes. So you know that whole hour and 45 minutes you weren't chatting back and forth. It might have been 20 minutes worth of text. So okay, you put down text 20 minutes. So you don't have to get into the detail of creating a spreadsheet for your time when you're doing it on your phone, because it's already there for you.
No, I think he's referring to like when we spend downloading music or
Oh yeah, definitely.
or that kind, the other stuff, not exactly a phone call or a text. I'm thinking he's talking about just anytime you're doing something that pertains to doing that wedding thing.
Yeah. I mean, downloading music, definitely you have to account for that time. Printing out stuff. Not only do you have to account for that time, but you have to account for the ink, the paper, everything. So it's just some guys overlook that stuff. It's like, why do you overlook that? You're paying for that ink, you're paying for that paper, and it's your time. Come on, think twice, people.
Yep. And then Will said contract. He doesn't do anything without a contract. Diego went on and said the thing that he needs is date, location. What is TL? I was trying to think. TL is tell me what TL is, and then playlist and pay. And then he said,
TL would be timeline.
Yep. And then Will said, I think you can send a few free a month. All right, so
Well, like Will, I mean, he works for that one DJ, the one DJ company, and he doesn't get anything till like Wednesday before the wedding. So he has nothing. I mean, nothing. And it hits him like a ton of lead. He doesn't even know where he's going to half the time.
yeah, that's why I wanted him on the show, so he can kind of like talk about things as an emergency DJ or someone that get a gig or get the information for a gig at the last minute. How do he handle it, and what kind of things do he see? Since he does that on a regular.
I think hopefully maybe next week he can get him on here, or the week after, because I know his back has been really bad. I know he's pushing it at work to get through the day. And Willie, pick up some lidocaine patches. Stop at Walmart, man. They work wonders.
And then he needs to get the Shaquille O'Neal icy hot packs.
Yeah, they work very good too. The icy hot patches or the lidocaine, either one of those two. The icy hot or the biofreeze, the rub-ons, they work great, but they evaporate too quick, and just like a half hour later, you're like, man. But the lidocaine patches or the icy hot patches, they last, and they say 8 to 12 hours. They're good for the 12 hours, believe me.
Mm-hmm. And then I was trying to look through my questions real quick. And then, do you still, like, when you get the last minute gig or the emergency DJ gig, do you contact the client?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. Might be another DJ contacting me. That last emergency wedding I did, it was one of the bridesmaids contacting me, and then she did give me the bride's phone number. She did give me the groom's phone number, so I did call out to both of them, and it made their mind at ease because they knew they had a DJ. They knew I was capable of doing what they wanted to do. The only thing is, they were so far out in the boondocks. I was just praying, because all she said is, play regular wedding music. I said, are you accepting? I said, do you want me to take requests? Oh yeah, take every request you can. I said, okay. Well, the problem is, their guests, all they wanted to do is hear alternative music. I'm like, so every request that came up, I'm like, oh, please let me have it. Please let me have it, because I cannot connect to the internet. And well, it was just luck. I had every single request. It was I couldn't believe it. Like there might have been 30 requests that night. I had all 30 songs. I'm like, okay, all right, I got this one. I got this. Thank you, promo only.
Yeah, I guess we can do a short after party. So put after party in the chat if you want to join. A short after party, meaning not 2 o'clock, not 3 o'clock, not 4 o'clock in the morning. A short one. I'm still trying to get myself back in a routine of doing stuff again after dealing with what I had to deal with last Saturday.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah,
I'm gonna go into
you.
more detail about that next week because I want to go from what questions we ask, what questions or what kind of information do we send to our backups, and what kind of information do we ask as the emergency DJ. Try to do it like I guess you can say some kind of sequence. So I didn't want to just jump and talk about my experience because my experience was a learning one.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I felt bad for him. Like, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And like I said, about the price, they already paid that first DJ, and hopefully in the contract it says that if DJ Mikey Mike have to cancel, you will be refunded 100%, and also you will be guaranteed. Say if I can't get a DJ, I have to cancel, I will pay them the 100% back. But if I could get a DJ, a reliable DJ like Will, and I talked to Will, here's the price I'm charging. And 99.9% of the time, Will will say, Mike, okay, that's great, no problem. He's there. So they're happy because they got a great DJ. And I'm happy that Will was able to cover for me because I had an emergency come up, or, it could be anything that came up. And I had him as a backup. I thank God for Will. Thank you, buddy. And I know he's going to get paid good. I hate this. They call you up and we need an emergency DJ, and yeah, okay, I'll take the gig. And now all of a sudden they'll say, well, we paid that other DJ $2,500. The only thing we have left is 1,000, or we have 1,200 left. You're like, why did I say yes? Because now basically you're not on the contract with them. It is a form of a contract because it is a verbal contract because you said yes already. That's why, like you said, first question would be, how much are you willing to pay, or how much was this other DJ charging you? That's why right up front. Boom. Okay, he was charging $2,500. Well, since you paid him the $2,500, I'm going to cut you a little break. I feel bad for you. I'm going to only charge you $2,000.
You lost because I was trying to listen to you because I was looking at the comments. Now I heard you. So wait a minute. I'm
like, how can I say? Like they contact you and they say, our DJ got like this one. He supposedly got in an accident, and he charged him $2,500. And I felt bad for them because they already paid him the $2,500. I said, no. I told him, I said, all right, listen, I'll cut you a break. I'll only charge you $2,000. Because in their contract with that other DJ, I said, please look at the contract. I asked him to even take pictures of it and send it to me. Nowhere in that contract did it say that he would refund them their money. They had it. They took them to small claims court. They did get their money back, but it took a year and a half. I felt bad. Like, they paid $2,500. Am I going to charge them $2,500? No, I charged them only $2,000. I should have charged them $2,500 because it was a 2.5-hour trip out there. That's another top question.
I was going to say because that's why I got confused. I was like, wait a minute, are you talking about? Because I was referring to picking up a job for another DJ, and I'm talking to another DJ or DJ company, not a client, because that's something totally different. To me, when a client calls, my price is my price. So
Oh yeah.
if you paid the other person, then to me, in my mind, that doesn't weigh in on what I'm going to charge.
I basically almost got stuck in a predicament like you did.
Mm.
I did ask the DJ what he charged a client, and he told me the price. I said, okay. I said, that sounds fair. I'll take the gig. I said, just tell him to make the check out to me. Okay, no problem. And he didn't say, okay, Mike. He said, oh, wait, Mike, you're making a mistake. I said, what do you mean? What kind of mistake am I making? He said, you're working for me that night. I'm like, uh-oh. My wheels start turning. He said, I pay my DJs for a 4-hour wedding. I pay them $400. Since you have experience, I'm going to give you $600. I said, wait a second. You're charging this amount. You're giving me $600, and you're going to end up basically staying at home, making close to $3,000.
I thought you just questioned him how much he was going to pay you to begin with.
Well, I asked him, no, I asked him how much he was charging for the wedding. And then after he told me what he got, then I said, I told him, I said, okay, yeah, I'll do it for that price. And he's like, oh, wait a second, Mike. You got it wrong. You're working for me. He said, this is what I'm willing to pay you. I'm like, nope, sorry. I can't work for that amount.
Because that's what I was going to say. I was going to say you should. The question isn't what did you charge him for that wedding. The question is how much am I going to get for doing this wedding? That's the question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he came across like he was willing to pay me good money. In his eyes, the $600 was good money because he only pays his other DJs $400. And I'm thinking, how can you be ripping these people off? I mean, he's charging anywhere from $3,500 to $3,800, and he's only paying the other DJs $400. He's taking home $3,400, and he has 4 DJs working for him. Usually, he has 4 to 5 weddings every weekend. So you just figure, just say $3,400, right? So those 4 weddings, he's paying those guys $400 each. So that means he's bringing $3,000 home for each wedding. That's $12,000 for not even being there, not even having the gear for them. They're using their own gear and stuff like that. That's why I asked him how much you were charging for this wedding, and he I think made the mistake and said, I'm charging X amount of dollars. And then I said, oh, okay, that sounds great. Just have them make the check out to me. He goes, oh, wait, you're misunderstanding me. You're working for me. I'm going to pay you $600. I'm like, no, sorry. That ain't going to work. No possible way. You're going to sit at home and, well, actually he had another wedding. So you're going to be at this other wedding. Now you're going to make close to $3,000 off me. You're only going to give me $600, but you're going to make close to $3,000 off me. No, that ain't playing with me. If he said, Mike, hey, I'll give you $2,000, I'm going to keep $1,400. Yeah, I'll work for that, but not $600, and you're keeping $3,800 or $2,800. No.
Mm-hmm. But my thing was, I was going to ask, because then I asked this last question before we head on out. My thing was asking how much do they charge for that gig? And then I'm fortunate enough, one guy that I'm picking up gigs from to fill in for someone else. What he does, whatever that other DJ got, like the deposit and whatever monies that was forwarded to them, they basically they sent that over to me. And I'm thinking that's the way it should be, as opposed to, oh, we pay X number of dollars. Now I'm supposed to, go low because you already paid this amount of money out. I'm thinking that money should be transferred from the person that's actually doing the gig, as opposed to the person that's not showing up.
And honestly, most DJs, if you call them like the last week of the wedding, like the last week before their wedding, and you say, hey, my DJ canceled on me, they'll automatically knock the price up. There's no no forgiveness. Since you paid 2,500 for your DJ, well, now you're really stuck. You need a DJ. Everybody else is booked. Give us 3,500. We'll be there. We're filling in. We're not filling in. We're going to make your day great. But now you're going to pay because you don't have a DJ.
Mm-hmm. And then the Shuffle Couple has said, it's weird when a planner hires you for a couple, and then you got to really push to meet with the couple to go over the details. And that kind of like was like the one that I did before this last one. But I pretty much talked to the groom, not the bride per se. But it's like I had to call just to make sure that we're all on the same page. Will has said it's important to charge accordingly for a wedding in case someone has to cover minus 1,000. And then, but I'm still thinking the DJ should have that money though.
Mm-hmm.
The company still should have that money. If they took that money, they should still have it.
If I know the couple, I have my percentage that I want down for down payment. But I tell them, like I specifically say, if I know them, if they're strangers, no. They have to be paid 30 days out. If I know them, they could pay me that night of the wedding. So this way, if it's an emergency wedding and they gave me my deposit, I had that already set aside. I'll tell the DJ that's filling in for me, hey, listen, they're going to give you a check or they're going to give you cash of this amount. I have the rest of it here at the house for you, the retainer fee for me. Just stop by, I'll give you that, and that's it. I mean, it just, I want to be fair to that other DJ that's picking up the gig for me. I don't want to rip him off. I want to be thankful to him that he's filling in for me or she's filling in. You can't say that DJ's filling in for you. You have to be thankful for that because if that makes it look bad on you because you had to cancel and now you don't have no other DJ for them or you have a fly-by-night DJ, that's going to make their wedding a disaster,
Mm. But now here's the last question before we head on out since we're talking about pay. When should you expect to get paid for filling in for someone else? Because I know for me, when I do a contract, for my gigs, I ask for the full payment 10 days out. But now you're doing a emergency gig. So when do you expect to be paid for your services?
Well, that emergency one I did, they called me that Wednesday. They wanted to Venmo me the money that night. I said, listen, the wedding's Saturday. Hang on to it, just pay me on Saturday. Okay, we'll give you cash instead of Venmo. Beautiful, that's even better yet, cash on the barrel. Let's go, So that isn't bad. I mean, if they book you, or it's like 10 days out, that's an emergency. Their DJ got in a car accident, or one of their family members are sick and they're in a special section of the hospital. I want to be paid then, or at least give me 50% and then give me the other 50% that night up. This way, you're guaranteed your money.
Yeah, because that's what I thought with this guy. But there's been a few times when I had, with my friend that got me into doing the weddings, when we did emergency DJ work, and even with Kevin, sometimes, I get paid right when I'm done. Or a few times when I was with the guy that got me to doing the weddings, there was a few times as soon as I showed up, I got paid. So I expect that, and Buddy said within 24 hours, and that's what I say too.
Yeah. Like I said, even I'd say a client, but they're good friends of mine. They book me 6, 7 months out, 9 months out, a year out. All right, give me my retainer fee, and then you just pay me the night out. minus the retainer fee. That's what you owe me. So, and it works for them. It works for me. I've been doing it that way for 21 years. But if it's a total stranger, 30 days out, I got burned a couple times, and I'm like, no, I'm not going to get burned no more. This way in my contract, it states that if you cancel within, I think it's 60 days. I think my contract says 60 days. You owe me your full balance, that what is owed on the contract. So basically, they don't want to cancel because they're going to lose a lot of money. Or if it's something serious like the one wedding, the groom actually had a girlfriend, and his girlfriend was pregnant, and she was due the day of his wedding. And he told the future bride 2 weeks before.
Mm.
Now she had to go out, and he helped her too. They went half on the venue. They went half on me. They went half on the photography. They went half on the videography. I mean, it cost them thousands and thousands of dollars, but no wedding. He had a baby by another girl, and she went on with her life. It was sad that happened, but stuff like that does happen.
Yep. And then Buddy says, I don't like cash. Then I have to stop at the bank. Then Diego said, emergency once. I want the money the day of because tomorrow is too late. And Buddy said,
What does Buddy prefer? What does Buddy prefer?
I don't know. He said he don't like cash. I guess he has it. I forget what he used. It's digital.
See, I prefer cash, honestly. I just heard some, I don't know, rumors or whatever. Venmo, if it goes over a certain dollar amount, I think Venmo is going to charge you, and also it gets reported and you have to pay. I mean, no matter what, I go through my accountant, so I know I'm paying tax on what I have to pay. But Venmo is automatically, they're taking that tax right out. I mean, no ifs, ands, buts about it. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I heard. Another DJ friend of mine said he used to use Venmo until he charged X amount of dollars for this wedding, and he called the client up. He's like, wait a second, I told you this amount. How come there's only this amount in there? And then they had the receipt, what they paid, and it was the amount that he asked for, but Venmo charged him a fee. Then they also charged him, and they took the money out for taxes automatically. So he didn't expect that, so that's why I'm asking what Buddy usually uses as his payment method.
Yeah.
Cash, I think, is great.
Yeah, but I don't mind cash. I do Zelle.
Yeah, Zelle's not bad.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Cash App.
Nah, I won't go to Cash App.
Yeah, but I definitely don't take checks.
Nah, unless it's from a very close friend or family member. So if a family member or a very close friend write you a bad check, you know where they live. And if it's a family member, they have to show up at a Christmas party, or they have to show up at a baptism or another wedding or something. So where you're going to get your money from them automatically.
Yep. And then Diego said, yeah, but that is not an emergency one. And then because Buddy also asked where was Hunter, so I missed his this week. What did he call it? This week of DJing, or this week with DJ Cool thing. I kind of like missed it this week.
He was going to title it on Monday, because Monday he had a live stream going on Facebook. In with the new and out with the old DJs. And you know how Hunter is. He doesn't like negativity.
Oh, let's keep going, because I don't want him to bite my head off, because so we'll just keep on. We'll say that for the after party.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, because I've been so busy. Well, the first part of the week I was busy just trying to catch up on my sleep, so there wasn't a lot of videos I watched. But I'm definitely have Diego's video on what is it,
Pretty
my
boy.
watch list, the one with
Cutie pie.
with the DJ booth.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to
Did you
check
see
that one.
Loyalty's video with his DJ booth?
Who?
Loyalty.
Mm-mm.
You have to check out his DJ booth that he built.
Okay.
You'll be so shocked at what he used.
Okay. All right, now it's time to do our shout outs. So last week we had DJ Cool Thing in first place, Buddy from TBM Productions in second, Big J DJ Services in third, DJ Fire was fourth, A Nuke was in fifth, Diego was in sixth, at DJ Mikey Mike was in seventh, and DJ Will was in eighth. So make sure you join our Facebook group page just by going to Facebook and typing in Queued Up DJ Podcast. You can join our private and public group. I see there was somebody that you know. I got to put her up there. It's a girl that just joined. But she is friends with you.
Okay. Yeah, let me know because I know my niece joined. That was months ago.
Yeah, and this one came in 2 weeks ago. I think her name was Mary. Let me see. I can look it up real quick. I think her name was Mary. And I forgot to do. Let me make this full so I can get to it quicker.
Okay.
Groups. And so I was like, oh, because I have it set for people to, to send out the automatic thing each week for a new member. It was Kathy Sitprich.
Okay, yeah. Cool. The more we get, the better it is,
Yep. And that was cool that someone had the episode that we did the Spanish episode. Someone found that to be helpful. They had a quinceanera, their first one, and they needed some advice. So it was cool that they were able to get some from our show.
Awesome. I mean, that's what we're here for.
So make sure to follow DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter and Facebook at DJ Mikey Mike, and on his Instagram at DJ Mikey Mike 45. And then you can follow me on all my socials at Hitman D Dub. And then we have this thing called the DJ Collective Network. Starting off on Mondays, we have the Time to Spend show with DJ Cool Thing at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel at DJ Cool Thing Official. Then we have Buddy on the DJ Roundtable live on Twitch every Tuesday at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And his Twitch channel is TBM Productions _Buddy. And then if you missed that, at 1 o'clock on his YouTube channel at TBM Productions DJ1, at 1 o'clock you can see the rebroadcast. Then on Wednesday, you have the King's Court with DJ James King at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can see it on his YouTube channel at James.King HTX. And then on Thursdays, you have the Queued Up DJ Podcast with me, the Hitman D Dub, and DJ Mikey Mike. And that's at the Hitman D Dub, my YouTube channel, at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As well as at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at La Ruckus Inc., you have the Start to Spin DJ podcast with at DJ Pretty Boy and at DJ Shay and at DJ Kev Sounds. I gotta make sure I write his name down. I keep saying I'm gonna do it and I forget till I say it. But it's the Start to Spin DJ podcast. And then our fade out message is A good handoff sets the next DJ up for success. So the more information you got and the clearer and more organized it is, the better and the quicker that person, I know for me, I need to be able to walk through the whole night or the whole event in my head. If I can do that, then I'm good to go.
Yep.
So those that have put in after party in the chat, I'll be sending you a link. So with that said, I hope you all have a great weekend. Make sure to go out there and crush those gigs. And remember, before it's time to spin, you got to first cue it up. All right, take care. See y'all next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Remember, smash that like button, share this video, share it with your friends, talk to your friends about it, and practice and enjoy, everybody. Have a safe week.
All right, see ya.
Before the lights, 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 before the packed dance floors, before the name showed up, would mean anything. Been hustling over 30 years, working every single day. Music wasn't just a job, it was built in my DNA. The journey wasn't overnight. Still figuring it out. Still figuring it out. There ain't no change in me. There ain't no change in me. I can only be me, me, me. The consistency stayed the same. Even if they don't feel the same. Cause no matter how high I go, I'm still the same OG. Can only be me, me, me. The consistency stayed the same. Even if they